So
what do you feel about Sauvy bees?
It makes me.
How do you feel about Sauvy?
It makes me cringe. Gallo, absolutely amazing company to work for. Adore working for them. Disclaimer that anything that I say and all of my opinions are my opinions. I work for them. I do not speak for them. They have a Zin, a Cab, and a Merlot, and the Merlot is stupid good.
Whenever she says, I'm not fucking drinking Merlot.
You will. No. Okay. No.
I'm kidding. Merlot's great.
Corked wine, and it smells like wet cardboard, and it is a chemical that happens in cork.
It has
Both of them are 130 ingredients. They will not tell us either. So that's what I thought was really interesting. So it took them 130 years, and it's 130 ingredients. Very cool number. People don't go out to eat because they're hungry. They don't go out to drink because they're thirsty. They go out because of the experience. And if you're not providing the experience, you've let them down.
Great to see you. Great to meet you.
Great to meet you.
You're the first complete stranger that I was recommended speaking with you by Kyler.
Yeah.
It was really exciting. Kristi, what was your last name?
De Vita.
De Vita. Because I don't want to say it the wrong way. But so you work with Gallo.
I do.
That's amazing. I want to get into that, but I also want to know what we're drinking here and why are we drinking this?
Yeah, we are drinking the Green Hook gin because we are using this for some good cocktails. And I saw you had it and got really excited because I haven't seen it in a little while. I have a really good, strong memory of this when I worked at a bar in New York City. I was managing a restaurant in Soho. And I kind of remember, I don't know if it's exactly when they started distributing or if it was just when they really started pushing hard. And had the rep from the brand, Michael, come in and sell me on it. Got excited about it. It's made in Brooklyn. It's where my family's from.
So now tell me, you moved out here. You were born out here,
Mm-hmm.
and where were you born?
I was born and raised in Vegas area, so grew up in Boulder City, about 30 minutes south of here, out near the Hoover Dam. But
on the way to Lake Mead.
Yep, Lake Mead.
We always stop off at Boulder and supply up on our way to Lake Mead. So that's my only experience with Boulder. I've never checked the bar culture or really like the lifestyle out there.
It's developed a lot in the past couple of years. There's a guy out there, Grant Turner, and he was more in real estate, and he bought a building that used to be the Bank of Nevada, and he got kind of into it and started digging through and noticed some correlations between bank robbers and specifically John Dillinger, and decided to open a restaurant around it and call it The Dillinger. So John Dillinger was obviously bank robber back in the 20s, 30s.
He looks just like Johnny Depp, right?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, you've seen the movie too?
Yeah, and Kyler was reminding me of the movie today, and I was like, love that movie.
Yep. So Grant opened it up, kind of themed it all around the bank robbers. He is primarily like burgers and kind of comfort food, bar food, but
diner
elevated.
Food. Perfect for back in that day.
But elevated.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a good burger?
Oh, yeah.
A steakhouse burger is like one of my favorite foods, you know?
Yeah. When he used to take a lot of care, there used to be a small little market across the street from the restaurant, and he would have them fresh grind his meat every morning. I worked there as well. And every morning we would go and pick up the meat, bring it back, and we had fresh burgers made every single day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The market closed, unfortunately, but that was how he did it until they closed.
Yeah. Back in the day, they used to do, it seems like out here, especially in an area like that, you're like, wow, they had like butcher shops and like here, try to find a great butcher around here. There's only a few spots. Like I have Butcher Block right next door.
Yeah.
But other than that, and that's pretty expensive when you go to a butcher.
Oh, yeah.
You know, especially now.
Yeah. If you go somewhere specialty,
yes,
you pay for the specialty. You pay for the premiumization.
Yeah. So how did you end up, and you were managing at Dillinger?
I was, yeah.
How'd you end up there?
So when I was in college, I was studying hospitality at UNLV, and I needed an internship. And my dad did a lot of work. He owns an iron company here in the Vegas area, and he did a lot of work on the Dillinger when Grant was opening it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was in there for lunch one day with my mom, and she looks at me and she's like, "Hey, you need an internship. Why don't you ask Grant? I bet he needs help. He just opened." And she called him over, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Kristi. I'm going to UNLV for hospitality, and I have 100 hours of free work. Would you like it?" He was like, "Are you trying to punk me?" Like, yes, heck yeah.
That's amazing.
So I started working for him just as an intern and learning ins and outs of restaurants. And he also...
That was your first restaurant job?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Throw you right into management.
Oh, absolutely. So
Nice.
it was a full internship. So I mean, I was in the back washing dishes and doing everything I could, bar backing, everything. And when that ended, when my hours ended, he had me on a project, and I was working on trying to get a car put on the roof as a sign. And I was like super into it. We were petitioning the city and getting all the
Like
variants.
one of those old school, like
Yeah.
Dillinger getaway ones. That's
Mhm.
cool.
Precisely. Yeah. So we had like a half of a car, and he was going to put it on the roof as a sign. And I was working on this project. So I noticed that my 100 hours were up, and I was like, I'm not going to not see this out. This is cool.
Right.
So one day we're talking, we're setting up the meeting at the city, and he's like, how many hours do I have you left for? I was like, oh, that ended like 2 weeks ago. And he's like, well, what the hell are you still doing here? I was like, well, I was working on this project. I wanted to finish it. He goes, well, shit, do you want a job? I said, yeah, absolutely. I would like a job. And that's how I got into it.
I mean, wow, because it's normally you hear management to go into restaurant management. Either there's a few people that I want to say go to like school for it.
Yep.
And they end up there. But I honestly don't think I've even met one person that didn't start off, maybe not hosting, but started off as a server, started off as a barback or busser, and then worked their way up. So it's pretty interesting to hear someone just start off in management, because I'm like, man, that's a lot to learn. The whole point of normally going through the progression is that you kind of know how to do every job in-house. So I can't imagine. And how old were you at the time, if you don't mind me asking?
22.
So yeah, I'm picturing like a 22-year-old figuring out restaurants for the very first time, and it's just like, I do what now?
Yeah.
Okay, I do what now?
Oh,
And
I
like
was like,
every station, it's I can't even imagine having to learn, because as a good manager learns every station in advance, like far in advance. Like every like worthwhile, and even like chains, especially I should say, because they have great training programs.
right.
You spend if not multiple weeks, months as a training manager before you're allowed like off the leash, because there's just so much to know.
There is. And I will say huge credit to UNLV, because I was obviously studying it. And there were so many times that something would happen and I would have memory recall, fortunately. And I had just learned it in that class, or I remember it from a couple years ago. That one professor told me, if this happens, this is how you handle it. And I would lean on that a whole lot. And I mean, Grant does a great job, and he's really done a lot for bars and restaurants and even an event place in Boulder City. But he was starting out too. He didn't really know what he was doing either. He was winging it. And we fortunately were in a small town where all of us kind of grew up there. So you have a little bit more leniency. And when something goes wrong in a town of 15,000 people, and like my family owns 2 businesses there, I kind of knew everybody. So people give you a little leniency.
That's different than what I've heard about small towns, because if you mess up in a small town, everyone knows about it.
Correct. Yes.
My brother got in trouble at a little small college town, and they put you on the bulletin board. So I'm like, man, if you know enough people,
you do. And I do. And I've definitely had situations where I've done something, and later on my mom's like, oh, well, I heard that, this happened. I'm like, how did you hear that? Well, my client was there and she saw this happen and she just thought that I should know. And, that's definitely the small town stuff.
yeah, I was surprised to. I guess everyone's small town experience is slightly different. I came from Rochester, is a bigger city, very urban, but then the suburbs is a real small town living. You have woods in your backyard. So when people ask me where I'm born, I'm like, New York, upstate Rochester. And they're like, oh, they don't picture woods in your backyard and snowing, or they picture snow, but they don't picture like skiing and all that stuff.
So I just recently heard a pretty funny story. One of my best friends in New York, where I live right now, is from the Rochester area. And I was just talking to her maybe 3-4 weeks ago. And one of her friends was down from Rochester visiting her. She lives down in Beacon, which is like the Kingston area. So she's telling me about how when she was in high school, she was in like a scholastic decathlon. And going into some of these competitions, the teacher would have to teach the children how to use an elevator, because they were in a county that had one elevator in the whole county. So a lot of these kids had never seen or operated an elevator, and she would have to put them in, show them how, come down, step out, and then let them do the elevator and come back down. And then she would be like, all right, you've graduated. You are allowed to use this elevator. I trust you now at this hotel.
I mean, okay, I'm glad you clarified on that situation, because as soon as you were like Scholastic Decathlon, I'm picturing like the movie Heavyweights with Ben Stiller, and how he's like, they have to go through the stations and they're talking about famous art, but they're also like go-kart racing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why. I've never had a decathlon. I guess you could tell.
Yeah, not quite that. Yeah, not quite.
So we're drinking last words because you have an affinity for chartreuse.
I have a huge affinity for chartreuse, and I cannot wait for this to be in my hands.
Where does that affinity come from?
My grandmother was born and raised in Boiron in the south of France, which is the town that chartreuse was distilled in for about 100 years.
Okay.
They were making it in their facilities there up until I think it was 2018, 2019, when they moved it to its current location in Aguinar, which they just needed more space to make more chartreuse.
Wow.
Even though we still have a shortage.
Hey, what
The best they can.
they were talking about, somebody had mentioned that the monks had to actually, they were making too much. It had become too much of a time suck from them that they had to change. Where they changed who was making it? What did they do?
No, so they just have less being made, generally speaking. Were you and I talking about this, maybe?
Yeah, it was on one of the other podcasts they were talking about it. Like,
Well, it's been the talk of town, especially out
Right.
here, and I'm sure in New York and San Francisco. It's like everyone's not able to get as much chartreuse as they were. And then looking into it, supposedly the monk said, we're not stopping, but we're only making enough to keep the facilities running that we need to keep, because we're getting away from
Prayer.
our duties as monks, besides making alcohol.
So I can confirm that's true. In New York City, I worked for a company called Frederick Wildman, and they are the importers of chartreuse I think it's for all of North America, but definitely for the United States. And I know the president of Chartreuse as well from that time frame. And I remember when we were doing it, it was around 2019, 2020, when the monks told us they're going to cut back on making as much chartreuse as they were. And especially during 2020, you had all the home bartenders popping up. So when one bottle of chartreuse could go into a bar and serve 10 people, all of a sudden that one person is getting that one bottle and that's it.
Wow.
And so just it grew up kind of naturally that way. And it became a hassle for the monks. Their whole point is to be in prayer. And I think it's like 16 hours a day, roughly, is their goal.
I want to know why, as humans, we have a need. Like, as soon as you're like, oh, we're not going to make as much of this anymore, all of a sudden everyone's like, I must have it.
Yep.
I was with my buddy Shoemaker, and we were like, when that came down the line, and it's like, oh, if they have chartreuse, like, get it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If they have chartreuse, get it. And when it's running out, he goes into, we're in like Sandauer, and we're ordering like chartreuse swizzles, and like every drink is a last word or something of it, to where they're like rolling their eyes and they're like, dear God, guys, okay, come on. You don't normally drink this much chartreuse.
I mean, I always did. I'm definitely a higher capacity chartreuse drinker. I remember, cheers, Kyler.
Salute.
I remember a really good time at the Frederick Wildman holiday party handful of years ago. We were all drinking chartreuse, and we had the president in and the import manager. And I tipped the bartenders correctly. I don't understand why people outside of Vegas don't understand how you tip a bartender, but I was doing it.
Kyle and other.
They just, like, people, especially when you go to an open bar, if you're getting something for free, they don't realize this bartender still needs to be paid.
Yeah.
They still work for tips, and now you're taking them away from their normal duties. So, I mean, I walk up and I give them a 10 to start off, get my drink, and then every drink after that, it's $5. Here you go. Thank you so much. Well, all my friends noticed that I was the one walking up to the bar, and it was easy for me to get a drink when they were 6 deep. So they'd send me up, and I'm walking away with like 5 in my hands each time I would go up there. I had 3 friends with me, so 1 for each of them and then 2 for me.
Yeah. Well, that's impressive. And that's a good way to be.
Mm-hmm.
Though I want to say there's a lot of people getting a thing called tip fatigue. And that's because people that are working at delis and at, even now, it's like sometimes like retail, it's like, do you want to leave a tip for your grocer and your this, that, and you're like, no, I just came to pick up a sandwich. We're not talking. I put my order in online. I don't want to leave, I came and picked it up. So I get the pain. There's a lot of people that are really complaining about, why am I tipping everywhere? Why is it so expected? But a lot of people don't realize if that went away and wages went up, you're forced, no matter what the service is, to
pay for that.
To pay for that.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to come out of the business. Especially the bigger the corporation, the more they're going to figure it into the numbers.
Yeah. Well, we saw that a few years ago when Danny Meyer Group started doing that. Was it Union Square Hospitality? And they eliminated tipping in all of their restaurants. Well, great restaurants, so your quality is always going to be decent. You're in New York City especially. But I noticed a huge difference when I would go in for a drink. The servers are slower. The bartenders are slower. You have to catch their attention. You have to wait for your beverage. You have to wait for your food. It's just a whole different experience because they have no incentive to go above and beyond. And the one that did go above and beyond, we tried to tip him extra because tipping culture, we're just used to it. And he was like, nope, I can't take that. I'll get fired.
Yeah, that's weird.
Wild.
Because, you should definitely be allowed to take tips, right? Especially.
Almost seems like you're penalized for going above and beyond.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
now you're being rude by not accepting a tip.
Yeah, and it doesn't inspire you to be like, why am I different than every other person in here? Why do I set myself to be the bar, the standard, where if I see Tom over there working very easily and we are all in that same, percentage, then who cares?
Yeah, I notice it even in my current role. I'm a salaried position and it's definitely a different mentality. Okay, I'm going to work hard and I want to go above and beyond because I'm competitive and I just always want to be the best at everything.
Yeah.
Everything in my life. I just want to be the best.
That's it. Expecting isn't, it's like you don't expect to be the best. You're going to try and you're going to give it your best shot. And hey, there's going to be other people that are potentially going to be better than you, but you're never going to say, well, I didn't try to run as fast as I could.
Yeah.
I didn't try. Because that's something that really bothers me is, people that are getting tipped good still, the expectation of tip is, yes, I expect to be tipped for my service. I don't expect ever more than 20%. I'm very grateful when I get more than 20%. But if you give me 10%, I'm not going to confront you about it. Of course, I'm professional, but I'm going to ask myself, did I do something wrong? Sometimes it's just cultural. Sometimes, it has nothing to do with you, but there are times where it's like, man, did I mess up? And a lot of people aren't willing to admit how much they have to learn. And a lot of people will be like, I learned a lot from you. I'm like, I learned a lot from you.
Yeah.
I don't care how long I've been doing this. Some person teaches me something about some level of hospitality that I hadn't thought of. When I meet a new person, different culture, different upbringing, you go, oh, that's how you do it? I like what they did. I like how they do this. And then I incorporate it into my lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's the tipping thing has been, there's another channel. It's like Vegas. It's not Vegas 411, but there's a YouTube channel that I watch that he gives very accurate reviews on the casinos, on hotel rooms, and the goings on of Vegas. It's Jacob Does Vegas, something like that.
Okay.
But I actually love him as a resource for checking out a place before I go on it, before I go on to a hotel. But I'm afraid to click on his tipping episode because I know it's going to be bad. And working for tips, I'm like, God, I don't want to hear what they're going to say because I understand the negatives, and I get mad when someone doesn't really try hard.
Yeah.
That's a big buff dude, right?
Yeah, he's in good shape.
Jacob's Life in Vegas.
Okay. Yeah, and I really like what he's doing, and because I know he's very thorough, I'm expecting to get negative. When you have a tipping thing, everyone has an opinion on tips, whether it's
100%.
for or against. One of the most interactive things we've even posted yet has 1 million people talking about how they hate tip pools, how they love tip pools, and there's arguments for all of that stuff. So it's very relevant, but I wonder the future of how that's all going to shake out.
Yeah, I can see people getting fatigued. I even notice it in myself. And I mean, I love tipping people because I love saying thank you for doing a good job.
Yeah.
I was in London a handful of years ago, and it was my last night there, and I was going to France next. I had some extra pounds, so I took pounds, like the money.
Oh, duh. Okay.
British pound.
That's right.
Their form of currency.
Not stupid.
Yeah, that. So I had extra
Pounds.
I'm like, pounds of weed? Like, what are you doing?
pounds on my ass. I don't know. So
Like, I wasn't hitting the gym as hard as usual. A couple
I was
extra
on
pounds.
vacation.
I traveled. TSA said something to me.
Right. So yeah, I had extra pounds, and I had taken myself to a nice fancy dinner, and it was a place where tipping was not a thing. Even in nice restaurants, they still really didn't do that too much. It was like maybe a couple of pounds extra if you really thought they went above and beyond. And I watched
Like a couple.
Yeah, like 2, 3.
You're like, hey, good job.
Yeah. Basically, keep the change. Like that kind of a thing.
I will buy my own hotel.
So I watched him. The server already was pretty cool with me. I was a single person, and I could tell that he didn't really want to give up like the table in his section for one person when he could be getting 2 out of it. But at the same time, he was like, whatever.
So he's based on sales.
I think they're based on sales. I don't really know how it is.
Because like you
but-
gotta have some. I mean, hey, I would love to have an opinion of people that work service in other countries. What incentivizes you besides, and don't tell me that everyone is just so caring.
Yeah, no.
That they do it for the love of the game. Because I love to think that I do it for the love of the game, but if there's no money involved, I'm still going to be bitter and annoyed. You know what I mean? And the better you are, the better you get at something, the more you really want to be rewarded for your efforts.
For sure.
And I was thinking the other day, I'm almost to the age where I can start calling people young man. Because I did it the other day and it was a little too soon because he's close to my age. But I was like, listen, you're a young man. And he's like, man, you're not that much older than me. And I was like, okay. But I want to be that guy because it's like I was trying to explain to the person that he's like, I worked harder than anybody there tonight. And he's a busser. And he's like, and I didn't make as much as you guys. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I hear you. I know there was a couple of hours where you probably did work way harder than I did. Absolutely. I do not deny that. Do you think that I couldn't do that job?
Mm-hmm. Well, and have you done that job?
And of course I've done that job. And I said, and my words were, I've ate shit for years to be where I'm at, you know? So I said, I was like, do you think I can't, if you weren't here today, do you think I couldn't do that job? Mm-hmm. And they're like, and he's like, well, yeah, I know you can do the job. And I'm like, if I wasn't here today, what do you do? And I was like, and that's why we make a different percentage on the tip pool. Mm-hmm. You know, and then that's incentivize you to move forward, to not stay stagnant in your career.
Something to look forward to.
You know, that's why I go and I train at Southern Wine Academy. That's why I listen to people like Francesco and Livio and what they're doing in current like events, you know, with bartending. And it seems very droll if you're not in this world, but that's the effort that you have to put in to get to this level. And that's brings me back to you where. So you go from Boulder, and then did you stay in Vegas managing? Because I know you end up in New York somehow, but where's that bridge?
So to preface that, my dad was from New York. He was born in Brooklyn, raised on Staten Island. I'd been going back there since I was a child. At 8 years old, my first trip back, I was like, I'm moving here. And told everybody my whole life, I'm moving to New York City. I'm moving to New York City. And I worked at the Dillinger for a while. Ended up getting involved in events through that particular job. Fell in love with it and decided to get into corporate events. Worked in that in Vegas for a little while and realized that I was just sitting here not living my dream. So one day I quit my job and I had an aunt that lived on Staten Island. Called her up, said, hey, would you mind if I live with you for a couple months, like while I find a job and a place to live and, you know, the things. And she was like, sure, when are you coming? I was like, how about in 3 weeks? And she was like, okay, send me your flight. I'll pick you up.
Wow.
And I packed all my bags, quit my job, and went out.
Wow. With nothing secured.
Nope.
That, I have to credit you and anyone that does that. It's pretty wild. For me, someone that I've only been to Vegas since New York as a kid, and my parents brought me here unwillingly. I can't imagine going somewhere where I'm like, obviously, besides you said, I don't remember if you said it was your aunt or your grandmother.
My aunt.
Your aunt. But besides that person, it's like, where do you start?
Mhm.
I don't know that I have the confidence to go do that.
Yeah. Well, and this was an aunt and an uncle, her husband as well. But these were people, I had seen them a couple of times, but these were not people I was close with.
Oh,
They
wow.
lived in New York. I lived out here. And
A couple family gatherings.
yeah, basically, it was when we would go back to New York. And I'd seen her a couple of times through, like, my dad's one of 5. So they would get together for big birthdays, like that kind of stuff. But other than that, I barely knew her. I called her older sister, lives here in Vegas, is my godmother. I called her sister and was like, will you call her for me and ask? And she's like, no, you're a big girl. If you're moving to New York, grow some balls. You call her.
Yeah.
So I had to call her. She made sure I had the right phone number and like told me what time to call her.
Hey,
She
she set you up for success.
Yeah, she set me up for success. But I was just winging it. So I hop off the plane, just trusted that things would work out, trusted that I had done all the right work for it. And actually 2 weeks from the day I stepped off that airplane, I had a job offer in corporate events.
Wow.
Do you feel like you basically burned the boats, right? You didn't leave yourself an option to come back.
No.
So
Oh, yeah,
you
no.
were gonna sink or swim when you got out there, right?
Absolutely.
You feel like that motivated you to really figure it out?
You know what, my biggest motivation, and they will all deny it, a lot of my family members did not think that I could do it. They all knew me as like that small town kid that grew up in Boulder City. And some of my aunts, and I had a great aunt that was still alive at the time, would talk about it, and they did not think, they were like, she'll make it a couple of weeks, couple of months. It was like, I don't know if they had an actual pool, but I like to joke they had a pool going on if I was going to make it or not, or how long I was going to make it.
The story is everything.
Oh.
Lean into the story.
Yeah, they had a pool going. And I mean, I far surpassed everything. And I actually got to see a moment. My great aunt told me to my face, yeah, I thought you were a flibbertigibbety when you moved out here, but you really proved me wrong. You're doing great.
God forbid.
Yeah.
No one wants to be a flibberty.
I was a flibbertigibbety.
That's definitely one of my biggest fears.
That is,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
There goes Kyler, the Flibbertigibbety.
fucking that guy.
Oh, it's a huge point of pride. I'm thinking about tattooing it somewhere on my body.
Flibbertigibbety.
Flibbertigibbety.
That's excellent. So
Mm-hmm.
So how did you find that job in events in New York randomly with no connections?
I got there. I had the right resume. To your point,
Can you tell me what year this is? Is that how?
2015.
Okay, so not long ago. So this is still
Decade.
because I like for our
It's been a decade.
I'm getting old.
10 years.
Decade is a blink. Okay. But I like for audience members and people that are interested in this future and where they want to go in their career to understand how do you get there.
Yeah.
And I'd be terrified of going out there with no action, and in 2 weeks you're kind of.
I couldn't even believe it when I got the offer. So when I got there, I had the right resume and having my family connections. My dad also had some connections still, and I knew.
Very New Yorker.
Yeah. Yeah. We're Italian. We're from Staten Island.
Cool.
He knew a guy.
We know guys. We know guys.
Absolutely.
We know girls. She was a girl, but
It's relative.
She was a pretty lady.
yeah, it was a pretty lady. All right. So Kathleen helped me. She was part-time in Boulder City and part-time in New York City. And so when she was in town leading up to my move, I kind of knew what I was going to do. And my dad just put me in contact with her, and she kind of gave me a little bit of a mentorship where she would tell me things like I had a blue streak in my hair. And she was like, you got to get rid of that. That is not going to cut it. You color that back to your natural hair color before you move to New York. Do not embarrass me like this.
And you did?
Yeah, of course I did.
Smart.
Yeah, she knew New York and she's very successful. And I wanted to be a successful New Yorker.
Yeah.
So she helped me go through my resume. She helped me tweak it. And she taught me something extremely important about your resume, which a lot of people don't know. Put things that are quantifiable on your resume. Don't just put, managed events in Las Vegas. Well, that sounds cool.
Great team player.
Great team player. She went through my resume and I had stuff like quick learner, self-starter, and she went through it with a pen and she goes, what the hell? People are going to care about this? Oh, I'm a fast learner. She literally
Fast learner. Because I'm like, I've never seen the resume that's like not the quickest learner.
Yep.
This sounds like very New York. Yeah, very New York. Like they're doing it like it's nice to them, but they're kind of being like really upfront about it. Like,
Yeah.
yo, you fucked up here.
This is New York, kid.
Right.
So the big thing, New Yorkers are nice, but they are not kind.
Ooh, interesting. Because I always think of myself as kind, but I'm not nice.
Yeah.
But I'm
And that's a Western
originally
thing.
from upstate New York.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. So they'll
Seems like a distinction too, though.
Mhm.
When you're around that many people, you just don't have time, right?
no.
So it's like get to the point, cut it dry.
Well, and if you
It's
grab
nothing
somebody,
personal.
the big thing that I always think about, if you grab somebody on the street in New York and you're trying to talk to them, you're talking to somebody who's commuting. Do you pull over in front of somebody on the freeway? Are you going to do that on the 215? Pull them over and go, excuse me,
right.
I'm looking for the strip. Can you direct me? No, get the fuck out of here. Sorry, are we allowed to
Go over. You're like, what? Wanted to say hi.
I just want to say, how's it going? Do you
It's actually a
stop?
cardigan, but they
Love that reference.
The worst, you're walking through Times Square. You're just trying to get home. You had a long day.
Time?
Trying to get to the... What? Sorry.
Nothing.
Gonna
I
max out.
love what just happened. She's
Trying to get to the subway. You're trying to get home. All you want to do is just get there. And you've got a family of 6 standing, not moving, standing all the way across the sidewalks. The sidewalks they're large. They are meant to hold a lot of people. And you somehow, coming here from wherever fucking country you're from, are blocking my entire way home, taking pictures.
you're like fucking tourists.
Do you see people stop on the 215 or on the 15 better when they're next to New York? Oh, hey, cool, look, a casino.
Yeah.
No.
You got a lot of Californians.
Yes. Yeah, but it's wild to me because I've never actually thought of the fact that New York's a walking city.
It is. That's how we
I guess
commute.
I've never really put those two things in that
Mhm.
correlation, you
Yeah.
know?
If you are in my way, you are stopped in front of me on the freeway.
Yeah. Wow.
So I've started just moving people because they don't listen. Half the time they don't speak the language because you're in Times Square. They're from all over the world, but they don't listen, and it's out there.
Times.
So I got to the point where instead of like sitting there and getting frustrated about it, I just reach out. I'm gentle about it. Like I'm not like shoving them, but I just reach out. I grab them by the shoulder and I just ship them out of my way. And if they give me a dirty look, I go,
Excuse me.
and they go, whoa.
Very mob boss of her. She just puts the hand on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Come on, move.
Yeah. Move. Get out of my way.
I've been in New York once, and I had a great experience. It was a little bit of walking. I got a cab.
Bit.
Well, because I got a cab a few places too, because I don't know where the hell I'm going.
Rookie.
I did the subway, and that was its own labyrinth.
It is.
I was baffled by how far it went down. That was pretty cool, in my opinion. But
It's because we don't have any depth here. You can't dig in Vegas.
oh, dude,
You underground, 6 feet. You're just 60, 86, right?
we got tunnels.
You can dig a grave and that's it.
Have you been? There's a place on Flamingo that has a
Very
basement.
So you could dig a grave at least. What was the question?
Sorry.
No, there's a cool building that one of my tax ladies was in that they have a basement in one of the places off of Flamingo, and it feels so weird when you take the elevator down and you could see that you're underground. Now there's some places around the strip, but those are maybe 2 stories, right? There's nothing you're not gonna find anything deep. Have you been through the Tesla tunnel over at the convention center?
No,
I have not. I want to see it though.
Feels like a Disneyland ride. It
really.
doesn't
Really?
feel real. Yeah.
You go on it, like you can.
Yeah. So you go down there and you buy a ticket, and then they get you, like, your ticket is like whatever number, and then you go in that number line, and then a Tesla pulls up with a person in it, and then you get in that, and then it takes you, and they don't have too many locations.
With the person in it driving?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not fully automated or anything, but
Damn, I was like,
No.
oh, recall.
I was going to think it was going to be way cooler if it was just one of the self-driving Teslas just pulls up and you
Sphere,
hop on.
just a sphere, an orb pulls up.
Yep.
It's so sick,
Oh, man.
it still feels out of place. So especially for here.
dude. Don't get me started on out of place. I was in San Francisco on my way to Napa like a few months ago, and those little
I'll be there tomorrow.
I
Talk about that later.
put you in contact with a couple people that I recently met with.
These two.
Super awesome. Anyways, Checkerboard Vineyards, got to go there.
Okay.
But damn it, lost my train of thought.
San Francisco.
On a place, you go into San Francisco, they have a lot of those auto cars,
Mhm.
and it's like got the little spinnies on it, and it's like you drive by it, and it's got like 14 little spinners on
Yeah.
there, and you're just like, huh,
Weird.
San Francisco, they got it all here, you know, because I don't know how people are comfortable at this point in the technology. It's like hair plugs,
Yeah.
you know. And I don't want to like take Bill Burr's joke, you know, but they're like, you don't take the technology in the beginning, you know.
My mom always said, don't buy the first year of a car.
Come on.
And I bought it the first year of a car when they did the Camaro remake in 2010. And damn, did I regret that.
Why? Because I know I'm not a car guy because people are gonna be like, 2010's a terrible year.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do that in wine. Don't trust. But no, that particular car, it had like a weird thing with the stereo when I brought it home, and it was like it skipped. It was weird. It was like a CD player from the 90s when you would hit a bump and it would like skip for a second. That was what my stereo was. It was so strange. And I had a weird thing. Sometimes it just decided, it was an automatic. Unfortunately, I didn't have a choice. I bought it used. But
wait, do you not, by standard, you don't drive automatic?
I don't, not in a sports car.
Okay, but I mean, like,
American
your
muscle,
car currently is automatic or no?
It is now. Yeah, well, I lived in New York.
Because I was like, man, I haven't had a manual car before. I just don't see.
I have.
I need to be able to. I need to be able to ADHD while I'm driving. I can't be like focused. I got to be like, what's on?
Well,
you know.
I mean, when you're driving along, like if you're on the freeway, you're just in sixth gear and you're just cruising. It's only when you're stop and go that it actually matters that you're in a manual. But when you drive something that has high performance, high power, it's a lot more fun to come off and have just complete control over.
There's a few gearheads that are watching this podcast that are like, boing.
Call me.
She's awesome. I'm like, I know several friends that they'll come over and they'll talk to me about cars, and I'm like, sick, dude.
Cool.
What does that mean?
Sick, brah.
You know, because I'm like, it goes fast then, yeah?
Yeah.
That's like, I like my hair knocked back. You know what I mean?
What's the 0 to 60?
Heavy adrenaline, love it. Don't ask me. I don't know how the bungee cord works. I just want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, that's my philosophy in life. I'm like, hey, they're professionals. I don't need to ask them about their job. You know, I feel safe.
Yeah.
Last 100 people made it. 101's going to make it.
So what I'm hearing is you want to go bungee jumping? I've been looking
all of
for
it.
Come with me.
That and skydiving. I've never gone, and there's just for lack of opportunity.
I have a recommendation for you for skydiving. I've been twice out of Boulder City, actually, and it's one of the most amazing experiences. And the views here, phenomenal. Buy the video.
I'm so in.
I will.
Wait, who is it?
Come back. It's Skydive Las Vegas.
Sounds like when we're going live. Yeah. We're getting ready to go live very soon, so it'll be like on site.
I mean, I can change my flight home to California this weekend to flip me back around to Vegas to go skydiving.
Well, I want time to get live because we have not figured it out yet. We have to still like work out the mechanical glitches of doing the first lives and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like I've spent the last few days rearranging the set for live audience for the podcast and everything like that. So there's a lot in the works, but anyways, back to I never talked about the last word, and the only thing I want to say, no one needs this. No one needs another how-to on how to make a last word. Everyone understands. My only thing I
don't understand. What's the recipe?
Equal parts, man.
So equal parts, and that's a key thing that I did want to address. Equal parts, gin, chartreuse,
green chartreuse.
Green chartreuse, absolutely. I don't drink yellow chartreuse like. Unless there's no green.
Have you had them 50-50?
Just blend them together?
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
We will.
I'm here for it.
Boom.
Yeah.
But, let's say, hold on.
It's called Episcopal. Actually, I think the Episcopal is slightly off, but my friend Jen taught me you go 50-50 and it's much better. So we call it the Jenny.
Just because my friend Sam was like, you never talk about the cocktail. And I'm like, because it's fun. And I'm having a good time. And I don't think about it. But, so, what's our gin that we're using from Brooklyn?
Green Hook Gin.
Green Hook Gin.
Brooklyn!
Also, green chartreuse, Luxardo, maraschino. Because Luxardo makes a ton of really cool products now. They have a Morocco cherry liqueur that you use instead of cherry herring. I'm probably saying it wrong.
I haven't found it yet.
We had it at Bromare, rest in peace. But we had it there, and their Luxardo just makes amazing products. Their amaretto's incredible. I'm a big fan. And then lime juice, equal parts. Now, the original recipe is 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. But I mean, this is America. We go bigger all the time. You know what I mean?
We have an American Pope because America, we're the greatest.
Pope now, so we're gonna up it.
The greatest.
I go 1-1-1-1, and that's like a big thing for Constantine at Bromare. He was always like, we do 4-ounce martinis. So if you're doing, yeah. I was honestly I wasn't the first lead there, to be honest with you. But once I became the lead, I'm like, so we're just going to pour 4 ounces and charge them $5 extra. Like, it's an ounce and a half because we were an ounce and a half shot automatically. And I'm just like, so we're just giving away free alcohol. I'm a teetotaler when it comes to like my beverage program.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's just like, yeah, we pour 4 ounces here. And I'm like,
okay,
I respect you.
Oh, yeah.
He really was.
Here.
I love his philosophy on like, he's like, it's got to fill the glass. And I'm like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, everybody else is just getting smaller glasses.
Exactly. That's why even on like, for our audience that saw me pouring these last words, I was like, these are gigantic glasses. These could hold like a 7-ounce martini, I swear. But
yeah, I might be sleeping on your couch, which is unfortunate because my luggage is at my brother's house in Boulder City, and I got an 8 a.m. flight.
That's okay. We'll work it out.
Yeah.
But there's the whole point of what are you fist pumping over there, Mr. Funny Guy?
Oh, it's just living the dream.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we have a camera on you yet?
Yeah, I got this little barrel.
Oh, yes.
Because I could have sworn it was pointed over there.
It's got the fish eyes really wide.
Oh.
Now, you know what, Kyler, when I was watching the podcast, I was sad because I heard your voice, but I didn't see your pretty face.
Yeah, I've recently...
Bad because she heard your voice.
Ouch.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I've added a camera since. I'll say, what do you call this? You called it a pisky?
Okay, so Episcopal, I think the original Episcopal was 2/3 yellow, 1/3 green. I forget, and I'm sorry.
The original Episcopal's in jail now.
I'm sorry to everybody that I work with on Chartreuse because I'm super disappointed in me for this one. But
you're gonna be happy that you're bringing up the Episcopal.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact, but my friend Jen, hi Jen, she tweaked the ratio to 50-50, so we called it the Jenny, and it's delicious. It will change your life, and you will change your opinion on yellow Chartreuse. Which
I don't have a negative opinion of it. I just don't know anyone that's like, do you want the green or the yellow? And then everyone's like, green.
So is yellow cheaper?
No, not at all. So the difference is green is 55% alcohol. Yellow was 40 for a while, but they upped it back to the original proof, which is 43%.
Damn, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Proof. That was a few years ago. Okay, so the fun thing, if you look at the...
Hold on. Elephant in the room.
Oh, Elixir Vegetal. Yum.
Just going to let her talk.
Yeah, I could talk about Chartreuse all day. You're going to have to stop me.
Go.
So Elixir Vegetal. I remember back when we were not allowed to import this into the United States because Chartreuse is a secret recipe. Well, the United States likes to have their finger in everything and they want to know what's in it. And the monks said, we're not telling you.
We're the best.
We're the best. We're the best. Best it's ever been.
We'll put my finger in wherever I want.
So basically the monks were like, we're grandfathered in, so we don't have to tell you and we're not going to. And trying to get Elixir Vegetal in, now when you register stuff, you basically have to tell them what's in it. And kind of finding the workaround. I worked for the company while we were trying to find that workaround. And I don't know exactly how it happened, but right before I left Wildman, they were able to figure it out and get it imported. So it's been coming in since probably 2022, I think was when that happened.
Well, the only reason I have it is because Bramare, rest its soul, is no longer a thing. So I still have several podcasts that are going to have came out after the fact. Because it was like kind of big news. We had just started actually doing really well. And we had a great late night program meant for the late night, meant for the late night crowd. Yeah. I pounded my last word pretty fast.
My favorite thing about Elixir Vegetal is Chartreuse was actually created as a medicine initially. And so Elixir Vegetal, it's 67%. You do not want to drink that straight, but you want to put it in water and use that kind of as a mouthwash essentially, but drink it when you're sick and your cold will be gone in a couple days. Amazing. It's at Chartreuse. I'm not joking you. It is a miracle beverage.
So wait, can you buy the Vegetal like retail?
You can now.
Wait, you can find this?
Yeah.
Where?
Now you can't. Well, I don't know. I don't live in Vegas. I can tell you where
I
to
have
find it in
not
New York
seen it.
City.
I would be very impressed. Maybe Corey's Liquors. Maybe they have it.
With a can.
I can't. Yes. I don't imagine anywhere else in town would have it. You know, I love Total Wine, for the record,
Mhm.
and because they have so much wine available that you would not be able to get if you didn't have that. Lee's is great. It's a very local spot that they do really cool things, but they're only in the city as far as I know.
Yep.
And
Total Wine does their own. They have their own brand of stuff like Kirkland's does. Like you would get like a Kirkland.
well, they get barrel picks. And
Yeah, they have a lot of
They
really,
get-
really cool stuff.
So a lot of people don't know Total Wine actually has a lot of brands like that. And when you talk to somebody at Total Wine, they are supposed to direct you to their brands before they direct you to anything else.
the Winery Direct.
Mhm.
Yeah, the winery. That's why they give you a discount on Winery Direct.
Yep.
Which is cool.
I
There's
appreciate
nothing
it.
wrong with it, and the honesty of it is, no one does cool things for if you do something cool, don't do it for free. You know, and especially if you enjoy doing it. And they
Wait, so why am I sitting here?
I shoot finger guns. That's a straight
Well,
all the time.
because you were
Paying me in beverages. Sorry. Okay, got it.
well, because yeah, your earnings averages while we speak. No, actually,
Free promotion.
that's terrible because I'm like, shit, she doesn't get anything for being here. But
I don't need anything.
if you didn't have cool products, I wouldn't bring you here though.
No, you made me a
Oh.
fantastic last word. If I didn't know we already had a couple other things to drink, I would request another. So good.
100%. That's the best.
From me, that's a huge compliment. Huge compliment. Remember,
We're in that
I'm-
shirt.
Okay, so I got a couple things for you. My grandmother was from where chartreuse is made.
Which is the coolest thing I've heard anyone's like reason for loving chartreuse. That's
Yeah,
like the
my
best
grandmother was born and raised there, and I loved my grandmother.
hometown.
And oh my gosh, well, I mean, our accent's a little different because it's French, but yes, close enough. I would bring home bottles of chartreuse every time I came back to visit, and while she was alive, I'd pull out the bottle, and every single time, I mean, this happened 10, 12 times, I'd pull out the chartreuse, and she'd go and she'd see it, and she'd go, oh, chartreuse, I love chartreuse. You know I'm from there. Every single time. And I'm like, yes, Grandma, I've been to France with you. I am aware of where you come from. Every single time. Oh, you know I'm from there.
Also, really well on the imitation. So, do you speak French?
Un peu.
I was gonna say
Well,
you can always tell when.
So, Frank.
Yeah,
Un
I speak
peu.
a bit.
Je parle un peu le français.
Whoa, see, impressive.
Yeah, my mom was born there, and so I did learn French a little bit in high school and a little bit in college and a little bit before the last time I went. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So I've forgotten a lot of it. But my mom,
So it is true that if you don't use it,
you
you lose.
it.
Bags of sand.
We do movie references here. That's like me and Kyler. That's how we became friends. Just when we're at events, if you don't get a movie reference, I'm like, are we even friends?
Did we just become best friends?
Exactly.
When you were talking about how the French they won't allow the recipe to be known, it just made me think of that Monty Python skit where he's like, oh, no, you is your king, you Englishman. Nah, your mother smelt the elderberries. You with the French guy at the top of the castle.
Smelt the better berries. What?
Yeah. Your mother was a whore, and your father smelt of elderberries. Be gone. Wow.
Well,
I'll pull up the reference so that way.
yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off about your French background, but you can always tell when someone speaks it versus like,
Mhm.
I know how to pronounce some French names of things that I've been taught how to say,
Yeah.
you know, like Veuve. Not that that's, I mean,
It's close enough. For an American, I
Veuve?
appreciate
Is that
that.
what you mean?
no, so it's not Veuve.
It's not.
No, that's what you're saying, though, right?
It's not.
Right. But everyone says Veuve. And if you say Veuve, say it.
Veuve.
Veuve.
It's. I'm not even.
You gotta say it like you don't care, but you care.
Yeah, so I'm not even the best at it. So my mom was born in France, and her first language was French. When she's American now, her dad was American military, her mom was French. They met in France, and that's where she was born. But she went back and forth, and eventually they settled here in America. So she is American, but is also French. So when I was learning French, her bit French. Elle est française. When I was learning, her big thing was making sure that I could pronounce things correctly. And I remember her like kind of teasing me because I would say something and she'd be like, no, that's wrong. And to my ears as American, it sounded the same as what she was saying.
Right.
But to her ears as a French, she was like, no, don't embarrass me. Like, come on, you've got to get this. And the one that really got me, it's the U sound or EU sound. And I'm going to butcher it and she's going to oranges and she's going to laugh at me. And it's like, E. And I practiced it so many times in front of her. And I thought it sounded so correct to my ears. And she would be like, E. And I'd be like, E. Same noise, right? No, wrong.
Did you smoke a cigarette and then?
No, that's the R. The R is like throaty.
Say it with me now.
Yeah, the R. The way I learned how to.
Oh, mi scusi.
The way I learned how to say the R in French. You know the skit Ahmed the Dead Terrorist.
Yeah, from the puppet.
No.
Jeff Dunham, right?
Jeff Dunham, yeah.
Puppets are a bit much for me.
Oh my. Okay,
It's
so
not, I don't want them.
after this, we're pulling up Ahmed the Dead Terrorist, and he's like, "Yeah, my name is Ahmed." And he's like, Ahmed. And he's like, no, Ahmed. And he's like, how do you spell that? C M. And that's the French R.
That's incredible. Yes, we're definitely watching that as soon as this is over. That's incredible. Okay.
So, yeah. Chartreuse. Yeah, so you referenced my shirt. So I've got a question for you. And you may look at my shirt. There is a mistake.
Oh, I have been. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you. Okay, so there's a mistake on this shirt. Find it. Tell me. Tyler, you can hop in on this if you want.
The second E.
In liqueur.
Oh, yeah. The missing E. And look, wow. I honestly was like, they wouldn't spell that wrong.
Yeah.
And I looked past it, but that's actually the most obvious thing.
In liqueur.
E-R, right?
I worked for the brand, and the way I got this shirt was they made these shirts.
I almost sounded right, and if I had like let it go, I was like the second E, and she's like, yeah, and liqueur.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, because I didn't know French, so I'm like, fabriqué. That's an extra E for sure.
Close enough.
But yeah, liquor.
So it's
liqueur.
Yeah. You're missing a letter there. So they made these shirts and they made a ton of them.
Fuck yeah.
And they're printed and they're like, yeah, sick.
They're like, how do I know you're sober?
Now. And then somebody goes, aren't you missing a U?
I'm like, I got one now.
And everyone was like, oh.
Wait, it's a U?
It's the U. Sorry.
W? There's like a U, E, U, R?
Yeah.
See, it's one of those words I still
liquor.
Thank God for autocorrect.
Yeah, it's not liquor, it's liqueur.
Yeah.
So it is missing a letter. So we kept them all internally. And I have like 4 or 5 of these shirts.
Oh, so they never gave those out?
No.
That's awesome.
Nope. They
you
are
have the misprints.
Yeah. I have a bunch of stuff. I'm
not allowed to give them out, but I'm gonna.
I just keep them for myself because I'm selfish.
I wear a fresh one every time.
Every night.
See, sorry.
Before the shower, out of the shower.
Because I'm not allowed.
If they were to ever find out.
Like Super Bowl 2024, second runner-up shirts in Africa.
Get to like all the kids in Africa. Yeah. Which I appreciate that. Hey, you got to use it for something.
They're like, don't give it to the French. Whatever you do not give this to the French. Like, but they're starving and children there need it. And it's like, not them. They'll shit on us.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll know American made this shirt.
Yeah. So I love these shirts. And then the last thing I was going to show you is the truth of my love for chartreuse knows no bounds.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got this tattoo on World Chartreuse Day.
Commitment.
In 2021 on international live stream.
Oh, wow. So that's a famous. Oh, Kyler's wife just arrived.
One of my best friends, by the way.
So the dog is saying hello.
Yes.
But that's incredible. So and I'm sure there's a story behind that tattoo.
Yeah, there is a story behind this tattoo. So it is designed I have a book from the distillery, and it's like a coffee table book. And it has a bunch of photos and just like gorgeous stuff from around the grounds and from around the monastery. And inside the book, there is a really wonderful photo of a beautiful stained glass window. And it had this whole symbol behind it, but it was in purple, which I just thought that was wrong because chartreuse is green and yellow. So I wanted to get a chartreuse tattoo. And I thought, what a perfect thing to do it on World Chartreuse Day, which is 1605, May 16th, because Europeans all, flip up the dates I don't know. They do it wrong.
Yes, I knew that.
It's weird.
Yes, I absolutely.
Yeah, so
I absolutely
1605 is
knew
actually May 16th.
But wait, the flip up the dates of the.
So they do the day.
Oh, yeah. Okay, because
Year.
we just backwards of how we on documents.
Yep.
Got it. I thought it was like a drinking culture thing, and like, fuck, another thing.
I mean, hey, I love a good drinking culture fact, but that is not one. Sorry.
Well, you're a
But
plethora.
if you want a drinking fun fact, so the reason it is 1605, May 16th, is because the manuscript that contained the recipe to Chartreuse was given to the Carthusian monastery in 1605. It took them 130 years to decipher it and to come up with what became the original Chartreuse.
Took them 130 years of R&D.
130 years, which I find very interesting
I
because
feel like they're being a little.
it took them a while.
It explains why they don't want to work as hard now.
But I mean, hey man, it was the 1600s, so they didn't have
Getting my balls.
They didn't have tipping culture. I'm just saying, if they
What
did,
what
it might have been quicker.
what religion do they practice?
So
Start
they
eating.
are Carthusian. It is kind of no. Actually, it's a really good question
I'm
because it's
kidding.
weird.
Obviously, I know I'm right.
It's actually super weird. They are the only.
I didn't think I was correct for the record.
Are they happy or sad about Chicago Pope?
They're probably sad that it's not a French pope, but they are not Catholic, but they are recognized by the Catholic Church, which is very, very unique. I think there are actually a couple of
You're like, we're not with them?
So they're secondary Christian? Is that how it works?
secondary Christian. I don't know.
Twice
Twice removed.
We don't want to.
Is it like secondary fermentation? Happened again.
Like,
Nope.
no, we like our wine fermented. If you know what I'm saying.
And distilled.
We do it in the pub.
Anyway, so we're canceled by Rome, but
Fuck 'em.
Who cares? We've got American Pope.
that's right.
Chicago Pope.
Go ahead, cancel us.
That's right.
We're cut.
Just when you didn't think you could get more powerful,
Yeah,
God's got us.
we have God's direct.
I didn't realize
I know.
God was mad.
Communication. Yeah, you want to make America great again? We got the Pope.
Yeah,
All right, one more rundown. Equal blend is
Yellow Chartreuse and green Chartreuse. So the difference between the two, I was saying green is 55% alcohol and yellow is currently 43%. But the biggest difference is, so they don't tell us what's in it, but they do tell us in yellow Chartreuse, they have distilled saffron and honey. And that's what gets the color yellow.
distilled saffron. That's awesome.
And honey.
So now that is very.
I can
funny
see honey.
because
Yeah.
I always thought green chartreuse had more botanicals, and I thought,
It is.
but it
It
so
is.
does it?
So
It has the,
both of them are 130 ingredients. They will not tell us either. So that's what I thought was really interesting. So it took them 130 years, and it's 130 ingredients. Very cool number.
Tucker, eat your heart out,
Yeah.
dude. She's smacking you on chartreuse knowledge. I am an idiot.
I mean, my grandmother's from.
I never pretended to know.
Oh, I'm from there.
Well, I mean, if anyone has to know, if you're gonna be like, yeah, we're
Sure.
from there, and then you're like, what's that about? And you're like, oh, I'm not really sure.
Mhm.
So I get that too.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how many appreciators of chartreuse have been on this podcast already, and none of them could hold a candle to this
I'm holding
grandmother
back,
boil
too.
there. Yeah, we're a one-up kind of a channel. You know,
I told you I like to be the best at everything.
I see that.
Yeah.
Well done. This is official.
Yeah.
You definitely are. I've never heard some of this stuff.
You don't drink chartreuse? Fuck you.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Correct.
That's it. Now, but to finish off chartreuse, what's the practical application of chartreuse vegetal? How would you use this?
So typically what I use that is for when I have a bug bite or if I have a cold or I think
Like
I broke him.
Windex? You
I
put
think
it
I
on it?
broke him. I told you it was originally a medication.
The Vegetal was or the
All medicines that we,
All of it.
I mean, that's how we sold booze back in the day.
Yeah.
You're like,
It was a medication.
I mean, we all
I
know
know-
the story.
Buy elixir
Most people say cocaine was in Coke. Most people don't know
you
that
do that here or you could do that in France.
in France. Well, but how I use it.
you can do a lot in France.
God bless France.
We're a nation
You
of
can drink
we're a
wine in
nation of
France.
laws.
France you can drink anything you want for breakfast, man. Let's go.
But
It's pretty common for them kids to drink wine in France,
It
right?
is. Yeah, and I actually conned my mom into drinking. So last night I may or may not have accidentally ended up at Lee's Liquor and perhaps bought a 2005 Bordeaux Saint Estèphe. that I really wanted to drink before I go back to.
I was wondering how to say it.
Yeah, do I smell of booze already?
No, because he said that you picked that bottle up, and I was like, yeah, Saint Stephe.
He meant
Salt
like
to Steph. Oh,
he meant
salt
like
to Steph.
actually.
Yeah. Salt to Steph. Yeah. So yeah, I found a 2005. Oh my gosh, I paid $30 for this bottle.
That's great. They underprice.
How
They
much?
underprice like Lee's especially.
These?
Well,
I go every
they underprice international wine.
every single
Put
time.
Nap on there. It's 10 times the
I
price. but-
I hope that nobody from Lee's ever sees this podcast because I do not want this to change. Lee's has so much great wine and they do not know it. And every single time I go to this specific one, I'm not telling them which one it is, but I see the most amazing stuff. Some of the stuff I was drinking in 2020, I was out here and New York was closed. So I came out to stay with my brother because it was warm here and they have a house. So I spent a lot of time out on the lake. And every couple of days, I was going back out to Lee's and buying them out of all of the Burgundy they had. And they had, 10, 15-year-old Cortone, and it was stupid cheap.
What
So
are we supposed to know what Cortone is?
really, really good Burgundy. Some of the best wine in the world.
That actually brings
Is that a brand?
It's
Cortone?
a village, a village.
French wine. I enjoy it. Burgundy is my favorite type of wine. I know nothing of how to talk Burgundy.
You should have told me to bring the Pommard. Last night I also bought a 2010 Pommard.
That brings up when we do this podcast, I always ask every guest. It doesn't have to be cocktails, but for lack of a better term, I say, what are your 3 cocktails that you would like to drink or talk about or both? And her answers were the last word, the rye old fashioned with a Luxardo sweetener instead of sugar.
Let's
So we're gonna
instead of simple syrup. Yep.
boom. So we're gonna do that next. And then she said Premier Cru.
Gevrey Chambertin.
Oh yeah, I was good. Wait, first of all, you sounded that was your least French sounding way to say it.
Gevrey Chambertin.
Thank you. I want the phlegm. Okay, that's phlegm. But it was. But when he because Kyler was talking with you and he's like, this was her answer to the 3 cocktails question, and I was like, oh yeah, because everyone's got the Premier Cru
Gevrey Chambertin.
hanging around their house, just sitting around. Of course, I was like almost annoyed. I was like, she better be bringing that if she expects me to produce such a thing.
Is that a crazy expensive bottle?
Yeah, it's not cheap. I have a few.
It's a Burgundy, first of all.
Guys, if you guys will come and visit me now I live in Saratoga Springs, New York, I will crack open a couple of them for you. I have a couple. But yes, they are very expensive. They can be not as expensive. You can find them probably for like $150, $200 if you find the right one. But
Is that a chateau?
a chateau.
Is that where it's come from? Is chateau?
Almost.
Is it? What
I
is
like how you're trying.
No.
You're really trying to indoctrinate yourself into the culture.
I only speak the Merovingian from
You're correct.
Matrix.
Ah,
Oh, mark my words, boy.
mark my words, boy, and mark them well.
So no, is that a chateau? Is it like a specific like a?
So it's a village. So Burgundy has a couple of different
village. Do you mean
Village.
like so? Okay, so like the village
Yeah.
specifically, the region,
American.
Just add
Village.
extra to village.
the town.
Village.
Yeah, it's so around Burgundy, they have a bunch of different types of villages, essentially. And they have
Whoa. We like your accent.
Well, we understand that.
Just don't let this caveman.
I'm just trying to make sure that all of my fellow Americans can understand me.
We know about terroir. Okay.
Terroir.
Terroir.
There.
It really is like it really is tricky, isn't it?
Is
Phlegmy.
phlegm.
Quoi?
Try speaking French when you have a sore throat. Oh, it's the worst.
You're like, I'd rather not talk.
Why do you think the mimes all wear like the French looking shirt?
Ah, it's like, what is a mime? A serial sick person.
Yeah, a
It's
sick
like-
Frenchman.
It
I'd
turns
rather
out
not-
they're just so annoyed with speaking French.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'd rather just not talk.
But yeah, so you say Premier, unless there's a Premier Cru Chevrolet Chambertin.
Yeah, okay, so
And I was like,
in my defense,
motherfucker.
he said, what are your 3 favorite drinks? And I thought like
Hmm.
cocktails, because I've seen this podcast. I'm sorry.
Well, there's a different way that we ask normally. But it's okay.
So that's how
It was kind of a la minute.
true or false. You
It
said
was
your
a la
favorite
minute.
drinks.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, I'm at.
Yeah, I have like a questionnaire that I send out to people that I curated, and it's more of like, if you were to talk about 3 cocktails or enjoy them, which 3 would you like or something else?
see, and yours would have been more confusing to me because you said specifically cocktails. He said drinks. And I, again, have seen this and I've seen people do the cocktails. So I just initially was like, okay, so what cocktails do I drink? Well, obviously the last word. Like if you didn't see this, did you read this? It says any last words right here.
When someone shows me something on their body, I try not to be like, let me see.
Oh, hop in here, man.
Let me get in it.
So look at.
Any last words because the last word is my favorite cocktail.
It's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. 3.5 hours of
It definitely feels.
Chaz, bitch, and dog.
painful. Worth every second of it. But
I should
said-
switch to the wine. I don't think we should do the old fashioned.
Yeah, I think we should skip the old fashioned. We've gotten
fashion.
carried away. I
We gotta go.
am a very eager, though we've never had a person that was as versed on wine with you, and there's a couple things I really wanted to talk with you about. So we are going to move into wine for the sake of time and everything. But man, I really wanted to try an old fashioned with but I know that beer
Right after.
because you can be irresponsible off camera. Okay, so
Take our time.
I am going to bust out something that you said brought you to Gallo. So hold on.
Brought me to the wine side. And I actually forgot to say this earlier. So Gallo, absolutely amazing company to work for. Adore working for them. To preserve my job, I must say the disclaimer that anything that I say and all of my opinions are my opinions. I work for them. I do not speak for them. Their opinions are their own opinions, and they are a wonderful company that has all the right things in mind, and they are not me.
I'll put that at the front.
They really,
Put that in.
whatever's about to happen,
title.
I'm sorry.
She works for them, but she does not speak for them.
That's how the
Love-
podcast started.
Love to keep my job. Love working for this.
At the end of this, can we film like a panic reel where you're just like, I'm sorry about what you're about to see, and then starts the podcast. And
Sorry
I'm like,
for-
oh, nice day.
Yeah, sorry for the love affair I'm about to have with Chartreuse on camera. But also,
So now when I say Rombauer, and when our guests and audience hear Rombauer, they're going to think
Chardonnay.
oaky buttery chard. I fell in love with. I actually used to roll my eyes at Rombauer because it's like every woman that comes in that's well-to-do comes into Capitol Grill. I'm in 2016 right now, and they would come in and they'd be like, do you have Rombauer Chardonnay by the glass? And you're like, nah, sorry, we don't. But they're like, I guess we'll get the bottle, you know. And it was one of those things that people had. They wanted that oaky buttery bomb, and then Rombauer, like, I want to say changed it a little bit and toned down the butter a little bit.
Yes.
But in 2017, they came out with my favorite Sauvignon Blanc. I love their Sauvignon Blanc. Now, I like sour beers. I like tart things.
Oh, yeah.
I like acid-forward stuff. So this Rombauer Sauvignon Blanc, to me, is like mouth-wateringly good.
She was made for you.
I'm telling you. Some people don't like it.
They do.
And I'm like, you don't know.
Oh,
Well, people that are used to like New Zealand Sauv Blancs,
okay.
you know, because that's totally different environment.
Structurally different. So,
Can you lay out the structural difference from a New Zealand and an American, and then if there's any other Sauvignon Blancs worth mentioning?
French.
Sancerre.
Excuse me.
I mean, yeah, but I was like Sauvignon Blanc on the block. I wasn't thinking Sancerre.
Okay. First off,
Forgive me. You're right.
Sauvignon Blanc. If there's one thing everybody can walk away from this podcast with, Sauvignon Blanc. Like a sewing machine.
Ooh, see, I like relating it.
Mm-hmm.
Sewing machine.
Yeah.
Sauvignon Blanc.
I can always tell.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
I'll take a Sav.
That sounds very.
Savvy bees.
It's right. Yeah, no. Sauvignon.
What do you feel about Sauvy bees?
It makes me.
How do you feel about Sauvy?
It makes me cringe, but also it kind of just like
Has
it
anybody?
feels very.
What you got the line of Sauvy bees, baby?
I didn't create that statement.
It
I didn't
feels
think you did.
in line with how millennials have been calling it a Menty bee, just to like make our mental breakdowns sound a little bit more.
Wait, Brancamenta?
Menty bee. No, mental breakdowns.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. I guess you guys don't have those. We probably do.
I'm a fucking.
We do.
I'm a vision of mental stability.
We, the female race, may or may not have them, but we call them Menty
You
bees.
don't-
Like a best
what?
friend.
Wait,
Little best friend.
what?
Yeah. You gotta have a Menty bee sometimes so you can like know
Familiar with
like you can know the top end and the low end. if you don't know pain, you don't understand how amazing it is to feel that like amazing high that I'm feeling right now at this moment.
Tell me you're into S&M without telling me you're into S&M.
Well, actually, no, wait, my mom's going to watch this. Sorry.
It was a joke. It was a joke because I like play on words. Mom, she just said the pain was enjoyable. That's all I'm saying.
Says a guy who like really hates their fur.
I'm having an audience member laugh.
Yeah. Anyway, Sauvy B. If you're being Sauvy B that says, man, I'm American AF, Merca, you call it Merca.
So Sauvignon Blanc are pretty.
Whoa.
New Zealand's pretty popular with Sauvignon Blanc.
So New Zealand is super popular right now. It used to be French Sauvignon Blanc was it. That was it. And I've been drinking Sancerre since it used to be like $14 a bottle on a shelf, which...
No, so the Sancerre is that, it's just French Sauvignon Blanc?
So very specifically, Sancerre, it's like champagne is technically only supposed to be from Champagne, France. It's a category. It's a name. Burgundy.
Some people get grandfathered in.
True. Burgundy is from Burgundy. Chianti is specifically, it's a wine from Tuscany. Barbaresco, Barolo, specifically wines from those regions. And that's kind of what a Sancerre is in the same breath. So it is a Sauvignon Blanc grown in Sancerre, which is in the Loire Valley. In the Loire Valley, they have a specific type of terroir that grows Sauvignon Blanc that is very mineral forward. I tend to like very minerally wines. One of my favorite wines at Frederick Wildman was a Verdeca from Puglia. And they tried to discontinue it several times on import because Americans don't know what a Verdeca is. Have you ever heard of it?
I love wine. No, I have not.
I like to hang out.
I also want to say
on the boat.
On a Verdeca.
Say it again?
So
I missed everything.
That's where I hang out when I'm on the boat.
The Verdeca.
A Verdeca.
That's perfectly said. I ruined it because I wanted to say you brought Barbaresco up and Tuscany, and I was responding to the Barbaresco, and I was like, that's Piemonte. And I was like, people are going to think I'm a fucking idiot because she said Tuscany after that, but I didn't want to interrupt what you were saying.
Oh, yeah. Barolo, Barbaresco, yes, that.
People that watch this right now.
Thank you for saying Piemonte because, yes, je suis français, but I'm also half Italian. My last name's De Vita.
I honestly felt I was like going to butcher that too, but thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like wines from Piemonte, and I love Tuscany wines, and I actually am glad the Super Tuscan category, if you want to call it such, which it isn't technically a category, I'm glad that they exist because I love those wines.
Yeah, I think it's a really beautiful wine, and I also really I'm a hard-headed kind of person. Hot-headed, hard-headed. And shut up.
Both things.
My best friend said yes. Yes, she is. But the Super Tuscan came about, as folklore says anyway, because Sangiovese, and it's Sangiovese, not Sangiovese. Please don't say that ever. Sangiovese. So
she's from France.
That's Italian, but yes.
But I'm saying because your care for diction.
Yeah. Wait. So
other language.
It's we, but it's like how we say yeah instead of yes.
Really?
The French say ouais instead of oui.
So if I say ouais, they're gonna be like, dude, he gets it. He's like,
yeah, he's spoke French.
Then I'm gonna say the rest of the words and be like, that for
American
is the idiot peasant.
Yeah, precisely. So the Super Tuscan, it was Chianti producers, and they had not a great vintage of Sangiovese, and they couldn't make a really good, solid wine out of 100% Sangiovese. So they started blending in Cabernet and Merlot, and the Italian government and Chianti as a region were like, no, you can't do that. And they were like, okay, fine, fuck you. Super Tuscan. And that's the category.
So to describe it in like blocks, you would say Brunello, right? Is how much?
Maybe, yes.
What's your percentage on Sangiovese? 100%? And then Chianti is what, minimum 80 or 70?
100%.
Wait, Chianti, I thought was 80 to 70%, and then it can have white. It's like, I thought, now, this is where the pull up of the pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up, buddy.
I was under the interpretation.
What am I pulling up?
How much
Chianti-
Sangiovese is in a Chianti?
So I was under the interpretation that Chianti, it's either 70 or 80. And then the other 30 to 20% is like white grapes.
Now, in fairness, I have been working in spirits for the last 3 years, and I only moved back into wine a couple months ago. And so I'm back.
If you don't use it,
You lose it.
you lose it.
You do.
Call back.
You do.
And that's 100%.
Too.
When to that point, when I work at a venue, like right now, my Amaro knowledge is sick because I was at Bromari and I'm like dealing, like part of our thing was we'll comp like here and there to really close friends occasionally, because you don't want to make a habit of like, hey, come in here and it's free. Right. So you don't make it like, hey, if you're coming in, you get a free drink no matter what, so that's not the culture.
You don't want to cultivate that.
Yes, we do that in the sense of Amaro. You can always expect a complimentary Amaro at the end of a meal at Bromare, because we really enjoyed that whole break bread. Like, it's not all about the money. Come over here and I'll pour out 4. I'll charge for 1, because I'll pour out 4 quarter ounces or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll charge for 1 and I'll slide it over and put that into the comp as like, hey, I have to explain that to my manager.
Well, and
they're like, look,
for inventory too, because they need to see that
100%. And I'm one of those people that's very cognizant of, if I use Lazzarone, I'll ring it on a Lazzarone, and then I'll pour the other 3, and then the next time I'll ring in one of those, and then I'll pour in the other 3, and then I think about the inventory all the time, but at the same time, the idea of breaking bread and showing them that a restaurant isn't just like, yes, thank you, we need your money, we're grateful for your money, here's our gift at the end. If you come and see the bar and you give a shit, you're going to talk to G, and G's going to give you as much as you want to listen to about Amaro, complimentary, and that was like one of the special things I think we did.
I think that's actually extremely special, and I will reference when I was out here in 2020 during the pandemic. Part of the reason I came out here was because I was turning 30 that year. So yes, I'm turning 35 this year. But I did not want to waste the day that I was turning 30. And restaurants were open here, and they were not in New York City. And so I left, and I came here. And my brother and my sister-in-law took me out to dinner, and we went to Sparrow and Wolf. Is that it?
Yes.
Yes. So we were at Sparrow and Wolf, and I ordered a nice bottle of wine. And already I saw the person that came over to serve it was like high up. I had clocked it, industry. You kind of know whoever is coming over here, the way he's opening the bottle, the way he's presenting it, the way he recognizes the way that I'm talking to him, and I want to taste it. I want to smell the cork. I'm not trying to smell the cork because I'm being pretentious. I want to smell the cork because that's the easiest and quickest way to see if there's TCA on that.
You'll notice that wet dog, that paper bag
immediately
note smell.
Yeah.
Right
so
from the cork.
Talking wine for the viewers here that don't know about wine, TCA is corked wine, and it smells like wet cardboard, and it is a chemical that happens in cork. Cork is part of a bark that is a tree grown only in Portugal.
The finite product.
So TCA can't necessarily prevent it from happening unless you go through DM is a cork brand that takes the corks. They basically...
Wait, no, you lost me. DM is a cork brand.
Yeah, so DM, DIAM. They are a producer of corks that they chop up the cork basically, and they run it through a process. And I don't completely understand the science behind it because I sell booze. I don't do science. So
I don't do science.
Do they soak that cork prior to giving it to you, or do they give it to you raw?
We don't prefer to be cork soakers, but sometimes you have to soak a cork. Sorry, to answer his question, do you soak corks?
So the
wasn't directed at you.
Well, not you specifically.
Hey, wait, what was the Chianti?
Yeah.
Chianti required how much? How much do you guys think?
He said 70.
I said 70 to 80%. I think it's 80.
It's 70. It's okay. So according to this,
so I forgot.
Chianti is a red wine Tuscany region of Italy, must contain at least 70% Sangiovese.
And there's certain white grapes, right?
While Chianti Classico, a sub-region of Chianti, requires a minimum of 80%.
There it is. That's why I couldn't
Very
figure it out. 70 to 80.
All right.
And then, so the other 20% are white grapes. So the people that originally made Super Tuscan were like, I can't remember the story now of how it started, but I want to say Sassicaia was involved. But when that happened, overpriced, but he's very particular with how he does things, right? So, and
for all of the producers, have you ever met an Italian?
I may have.
Yeah.
Come across one or two.
I'm related to a couple, but no, I'll be honest with you. The longer I work in this industry, and I love my Italian, like off the boat Italians, but they're also, man, my buddy Eric at Romauer, he made me not love Italians off the boat because I was like, why aren't you working harder? He's like, should I have to?
No. And
I was like, God damn you.
Wait, now have you ever worked with somebody from France? From France, not just French, from France.
Yep.
No, but I have recently met several.
What's your experience?
You know, the one I worked with was actually really cool. He was.
I mean, I'll be honest, we are pretty cool.
He was young. He was just fun. I don't think he had an ego coming from. He was still like young and just like kind of adaptable. But
adaptable and fun.
I'm here.
Those aren't
I love to hear this.
Cool. I feel like they typically have like a "fuck you. This is how it is."
Serious.
Just don't. If you're not to my level, then fuck you.
So my favorite thing about the French is they have very specific labor laws. And if you even come close to breathing on that line of where their labor law is, they're like, strike. Shuts down. Branch shuts down. Strike. Nope. Not going to work. And it's so funny. And I also fully appreciate it coming from America where we just work all the time because we feel like we should. I just want to be the best. So
I want more.
We're a country of scabs.
I want more. Yeah.
Yes, I want more. Oh, I have to work more?
Okay, fine. No problem.
Deal.
I regularly find myself...
Be the hardest working person in the room?
Yeah.
Deal.
I'm sitting there, the sun's going down, and it's summertime, and I'm like, shoot, what time is it? Oh, it's like 8:30. I'm like, cool, well, I didn't eat lunch. I gotta, take care of myself. Whoops.
Yeah.
Got a coworker the other day ask me, yeah, do you, take a break in the middle of the day? I like to go for, a quick little walk just to clear out my head. And I was like, a break? I don't even take a lunch break.
When people ask about breaks as a bartender, I'm like, oh,
what are those?
You're new.
Yeah, when you can.
We don't do those.
I'm like, a break is, if it happens, that's cool. If it's dead, I'm going to go take a break.
Yeah. Hey, you got to
let me know if a guest walks in.
Yeah, you got to pee? Too bad. I hope you wore
We're a busy bar. We're a busy bar. You get a pee break. Don't get me wrong. If you're like, exactly. I need a pee, we get it. And if you do it twice in a shift, we get it. If you do it 3 times in a shift, I'm like, all right.
Look, if you gotta take a smoke,
what do you
and
do?
I know that you're getting at,
you have time to drink. I'm depleted. I'm gonna have a salt vest because I wear vests for almost all of my gigs, and I'm like the guy that's like panicking, stressed,
yeah, that sounds
like
so
running to the next spot, and then you take off your vest at the end of the night at the bar because you're having an after work drink.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, he still has a vest on because all the salt in my body is through that vest in a perfect line. And it's like,
it's cute. It's crispy. You could make dinner.
It's embarrassing.
Get right off.
Definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can go into the bathroom and just splash a ton of water on your black shirt, and it'll work. But it's one of those things that I'm like, it's like a battle sign. Like I worked my ass off tonight.
Yeah. These are my war weapons.
I take pride in how hard I work.
Same. Not enough people do these days.
That's anywhere too. And I was on vacation in Florida to see my sister, and I was kind of baffled at, don't get me wrong, a couple of places we went to weren't, restaurants that are ran by an executive chef that is a rapport, but it's at the end of the day, you see these places and you go, how hard is it to work there? How hard is it to give a nice experience? Is a person that's coming in to see you late night, or I shouldn't even say late night. A person that's coming in to see you to dine, they're hoping for a nice evening, and it's your job to give that to them, and take yourself out of it. You're here to do a job. You're not to be insensitive, but you're a cog in the machine of this person's evening. Make it happen.
Well, and you can make or break their evening. People don't go out to eat because they're hungry. They don't go out to drink because they're thirsty. They go out because of the experience. And if you're not providing the experience, you've let them down.
I love that. And that's the fact. Like
Mhm.
the experience, people don't need a lot. They don't need you to coddle them. They want experience.
Mhm.
So I really do like that. And speaking of experience, I don't feel comfortable opening a bottle of champagne in front of you. So I want you to come over here.
I got this.
And for our final parting shot, our sip, I'm going to grab some Nicolas Foyer that we've had. Nicolas Foyer. Say it correctly for me.
You're fine.
Okay. Because I'm like, every time
We don't sell them.
Foyer.
Fuck them.
if I'm in front of someone that speaks other languages, I'm always like, but
So my big thing is if you give it a shot, I appreciate it because I'm American. I'm not French. I am from French heritage. I'm not that French.
fair enough.
I'm
Well,
from
until you hear that, until you hear the phlegm,
Yeah.
you know.
While you're getting the bottle out, I just want to quickly talk about Rombauer because I love this wine so much. And I kind of referenced a little bit briefly when I saw something about the Rombauer in the fridge there. And I've worked for Gallo for about 3 years now. I used to work on our spirits division, and I was super happy over there. We have an amazing portfolio. And about a year and a half ago, we bought Rombauer. And I knew that Gallo was trying to get stronger in our premium portfolio. And the day that we announced we bought Rombauer, it blew my mind. This is a wine that I drank. I think some of the stuff that they're doing is fantastic. And hey, don't take that away.
You're coming over here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. I thought you were trying to take my Rombauer away. I'm talking about my love story with Rombauer.
That's very fair. Hold on. That's a good point.
Yeah, give me that. So we buy Rombauer. I knew we were trying to get into a more strong luxury portfolio. And we buy Rombauer. And I remember the day that we went through the whole tasting, I was in Indianapolis with the whole Northeast region. And my boss's boss's boss was there. And we were on the same floor in the hotel and we're in the elevator. And I looked at him and I was like, this was the best purchase you guys have ever made. This is a winery that is already doing really amazing, like, core items. The Chardonnay, like you said, they were already pulling back on that buttery. And I've noticed that even, I don't have full insider information if they were doing it on purpose, but I've noticed they've really pulled back and made a beautiful, more feminine expression.
It's not so not one note,
Original.
but it's butter.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're like, oh, it's more complex.
Now you've got minerals in it and you've got that buttery, but it's not like, here's the primary flavor in here. It's super deep and just a really gorgeous Chardonnay now. But they have amazing Sauvignon Blanc and they have, blow your mind, have you had their reds yet?
No.
The Merlot.
I know they have a Zin.
They have a Zin, a Cab, and a Merlot, and the Merlot is stupid good. Like,
whenever she says, I'm not fucking drinking Merlot.
You will. No. Okay. No.
I'm kidding. Merlot's great.
I get
Movie
hot
reference.
over this.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Thank you for saying that. I get hot
Very out of,
this
random movie reference, but
sideways. All right. We lost Merlot as a category because of one stupid line in a movie.
great line.
No.
Great line.
Horrible line.
You're talking about it right now. That's a great line.
Wait, give me the reference.
So in Sideways, maybe we watch that tonight. Sideways, there's Paul Giamatti, and he is the wine geek of the group. His buddy is on a bachelorette or a bachelor party, and like it's just them. It's just them going to Napa, and they have a place called the Crossing, whatever,
something like that.
They have a spot that they're hanging out at mostly, but overall they're doing like a wine Napa tasting. And Paul Giamatti's like kind of a loser, but also all about the wine. And he has like this really romantic speech about Pinot Noir, which made everyone love Pinot Noir. Like to the point that it's a little silly how much people gravitated towards Pinot Noir. And then he said a line in that movie.
So somebody else tries to give him some Merlot. And he goes, I ain't not drinking no fucking Merlot.
Exactly. Well, and the guy that is his buddy is trying to convince Paul Giamatti to go to this evening where he's like, step out of your comfort zone, dude. Like, come out. We're going to go do this thing. And he goes like, he's like, fine, I'll go. But if she fucking pulls out Merlot, I'm fucking out of there. Like, and that blind.
Now.
That was like 2008. Killed Merlot for a decade.
Now roll it back. I think it was even earlier. We're going to have to look this up. But at the end of the movie, he is drinking a Bordeaux and he's like, this is the best wine in the entire world.
Merlot.
He's like
right bank.
Full on like, oh, best thing you've ever had. Nothing's ever been better. Best. He's having sex with this wine in his mind.
Dude, that went over my head.
It is 78% Merlot.
Love it. So whoever wrote that movie did that on purpose, thinking like, oh, they'll understand. Like, we're talking shit right now.
Or
then we understand like later on.
No,
it could have been a coincidence.
It's one or the other.
It's a fucking 50-50 because they're very coy.
They either knew it and thought it was a funny joke and people will get it, or didn't know it and they just put it in there. But either way, it destroyed Merlot as a category until this year is the first year I am finally getting people asking me for Merlot.
Is there what is it that's asking for that? Is there something that triggered that?
People we call it like legal drinking age, LDA.
So you mean like fresh 21-year-olds? So
the fresh 20, it's like the 21 to 25.
All right, your wine gal.
Yep.
Let's elaborate. What does Merlot have that is different from Cabernet that our audience could identify with as a difference? Why do I pick Merlot over Cabernet?
It's softer. Cabernet is going to come in with the tannins and the acid, and it's going to make your mouth feel like it's on a roller coaster.
And is that why you eat it a lot with food?
You drink it with food. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
You
could eat your wine.
You eat your wine.
You could eat your wine, Kyler, to your point.
But
some people don't know how to do that.
That's so much.
They do say chewy tannins, but tannins are what makes your mouth feel dry. So you have, when you drink something tannic, or if you eat grapes, even just normal grapes, you're eating grapes and you feel that like drying sensation around your gums. Those are tannins.
I don't think people think that far in. Like the average person.
You feel them. And I know this because this morning, before noon, I cracked open that 2005 with my mom, and I she didn't want to, and I was like, come on, let your French side show just a little bit, just for once.
I'm just meeting you.
Have some breakfast wine with me.
This is incredible.
A wee amount.
Un peu.
Oui.
Yeah.
Un peu. Just have a little bit with me.
The French are going to hate me.
Yeah.
They're like,
oh, they already do.
But they don't watch the show.
So they've been talking about you.
I'm a peasant.
So I con her into drinking wine with me for breakfast this morning. And I'm talking to her about why this wine is interesting and what is so different, why it's aging. And the reason I got the 2005 is because a couple years ago, I got her a 2014 Saint-Julien from Léoville Barton, which is one of my favorite producers in Bordeaux. Phenomenal wine. Absolutely phenomenal wine. And
I had to say that, but cool.
When I gave it to her as a Christmas present, I said, do not touch this wine for at least 8 to 10 years. So she wrote on the label, which killed me. You don't write on a label. But she wrote on the label.
Sucker.
So she didn't touch it, and so that my brother didn't go in there and touch it. And it says, do not drink per Kristi. And it has a date. And I'm trying to explain the difference between this 2005 and this 2014. And I'm getting into it with the tannins and the acid. And she's like, yeah, I don't like acid when it like puckers your mouth. And I'm like, yes, correct, good. But also it's not just the pucker. It's when you drink the wine and you just sit there and pay attention to how the middle of your tongue starts to water. That's acid. If you've not noticed that.
I love this, and I want to do what made me understand acid was Livio in the Southern Wine Academy. He was like, if you take a sip of the wine, so hold on. If you take a sip of the wine and you lean forward, if you have the sensation that you're about to drool, it's acidic.
Yeah.
You're not. You're being very dainty about your lean forward.
I'm trying to be feminine.
Like if I can feel the acid, if I can feel the moisture going towards the front of my mouth, that's acidic. It's got a lot of acid in the wine.
Correct.
So, and that's something that made me
across the middle of your tongue and down the sides.
Yeah. So because I know we have to end, I want you to open up, because I was going to open up a bottle of champagne. I'm pretty confident. I'll do it when she's not here. I'll open my own bottle. But I have a professional from Gallo. We didn't even go into all your titles that you've gone through the rankings, but that's how this podcast is. We get carried away. But you'll have to come back and tell us more about it. But you're going to show me how to open up a bottle of champagne perfectly for us.
Hopefully. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, first thing, most bottles of wine, most bottles of champagne, you have a little tab. Pull that baby. But the entire time you're opening a bottle of wine, do not take your thumb off the top of this bottle. I have seen people come very close to losing eyes. I have personally almost shot my eye out. And you would not believe how important it actually is to keep that thumb on top. So take it off. And there's this cute little tabby here. This tab, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Consistently.
Open. Consistently. If you do it correctly and you use your wrist properly, it's always 6. I've never had it not be 6.
Interesting.
Ever. Still keeping your thumb on top. Take your ring finger of whatever your non-dominant hand is and loop that right on in there.
Okay, this is new. This is something I've never seen.
This is what I would have teased you about. So let's say something happens. I take my finger off and this cork pops.
Bang, you got it.
I've got that cage held on. That cork is going to swing down and touch my finger. What it's not going to do is hit somebody.
Can I say before you move further? Sorry to make you hold on there. I was at a party where it was an event, but it was at my friend's house, and his name's David, and he knows he loves the finest of things, and they're opening champagne for his wife's party, and he uncages it, which I know you mentioned.
My mind over that. I have a story from last weekend actually,
and you're gonna tell us in 2 seconds. But he uncaged it, and then it's uncaged, and he wanted to hold it. He would not let me handle it at that point. And I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm like, David, no, watch her face. And he's like at his wife. It's like a gun. He's just like,
yep.
What are you worried about? And I'm like, watch her face. Whoa, please no. And I swear to God that happened. And I was like blocking her face, putting my hand in. I'm like, and they all thought, everyone in the room was laughing at me. They were laughing at me because they'd never seen a champagne cork pop off randomly.
You're going to shoot your eye out.
And they both at points had an uncaged bottle of champagne pointed at their face like this. And I'm like freaking out. And everyone's laughing at me because I'm the panicker. And I'm like, that will take your eye out. And he literally was like, okay, buddy. Like, I couldn't believe the lack of respect. Love those people. David, I love you. But I'm just saying.
But don't do that.
Don't do that. Cage stays on.
Cage stays on.
Cage is your friend.
Cage stays on. The other thing that I forgot, and the time that I almost killed my own self, was a champagne stopper. And I didn't think about putting my hand on top of it when I pulled it off. And I was just at home, and I went like this, And I had like a whole Matrix moment where I had to do one of those numbers because I pulled it and it shot and it clipped my nose because I leaned back quickly enough, but I fortunately did not shoot my eye out. But I had my eye right over that right before I pulled it.
So this is early in your career.
Very. This was the first year as a sales rep, so silly me. Haven't done it since and have been a very big proponent of always keep the cage, always keep a hand or a finger right on the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
So moving on, we've got our finger in. We are holding on to that cage just in case anything ever happens. And we're going to grip that cork. And you use the cage a little bit as a grip because sometimes the corks are stuck and they're very hard to get.
I hate a hard cork.
And if your hands are slippery, it's really hard to get a grip on them.
Well, and also that if you work in industry and you're running around behind a bar, a lot of the time your hands are wet and you are slippery and you need something else to help you grip.
If you're washing your hands as much as you're supposed to in the bar
Yep.
and your hands are dry, I don't know who.
Yeah, and your knuckles are cracking and they're bleeding. And yep.
That's why lotion is the bartender's best friend.
Best friend. So you start to gripping it, twist the bottle. And if you see that cork is already coming out of the bottle.
Kristi's patented grip and twist.
Yeah. So the more you twist, the more it comes out. And then there comes a point, and I'm holding it now, and it's actually kind of hard, but it will
she's
push.
fighting it.
Wait. It will push itself.
Or as the French say,
I still can't do it right. My mom's going to be disappointed in me. That's okay. Done other things to disappoint her. Is this mine?
Wouldn't be for them. Hey, so you guys.
Oh, yes, that's yours. And then
So why you both, when we were talking about what vessel to put the champagne in, both of you were disgusted with.
You're probably really snappy. I'm
open up this drawer and show them an example of the 3 glasses. I know so much. There's a champagne flute right there.
Where? Oh.
And then any coupe or show the coupe.
Oh, sorry, down. Okay.
Now, originally, champagne was served in coupe glasses, right? Bird bath glasses.
All right. So
let's get into it.
I don't believe in any of that, so I'm not getting into any of that.
But that
let's read
how it used to be, right?
Reference the history. Let's reference the history.
It's wrong.
So start with the coupe.
All right. So you have a coupe glass, which looks really cool. It's like you're in the Great Gatsby.
Exactly what everyone references.
Marie Antoinette's Kitty, right?
Exactly.
You put a little bit of this in this glass, and there is so much surface area right here. The bubbles, gone. You have maybe 3 to 5 minutes to drink this and have it still be sparkling.
Depleted. Flat.
Gone.
Shit.
At that point, just drink this.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon, like a sewing machine.
So,
Sauvignon Blanc.
So
I'll take the bird bath.
Sauvignon.
I'll give that to you. Here you go.
Wait, no, I want them lined up next to each other.
Oh, fire, give me that back. All right. So the next thing you have.
It already looks like it's
the
flat.
evolution of champagne drinking.
Can you zoom in on this? Do you have?
It will.
Camera?
It will in post.
Man,
One day,
Bubbles are gone.
if we got sponsorship ever, we would have the equipment to do that, but we're not there.
If we were doing live. So the idea behind this one is now it's more narrow, less surface area for the bubbles, right?
Correct.
Because
So
bubbles pop, right?
yes. So when bubbles hit the oxygen, that's what pops it. If you have a lot of surface area, that's really good if you have a red wine that you're trying to decant. It's an old wine, the 2005 I had this morning. You want oxygen getting into that because that's how it opens up.
Coolest statement ever.
It's
the 2005 I had this morning. Dope.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I respect you.
But it's basically, okay, so you come to a party, you don't know anybody, and you have a drink and you start talking, and now all of a sudden you're loose and you're having a good time and you're open. That's a coupe.
I'm not a coupe. I'm not
Ready.
loose and open.
Now,
Red Eagle. But listen, look at the bubbles, though. The bubbles right now on the...
in the
Ooh.
flute. So your flute is your introvert. Your introvert.
You should fill them up more
I mean-
and show it more. Just so I don't care about the waste because I'll drink it all. They don't call my cup the dump sink for nothing.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's a waste.
Gee,
Not
the dump
champagne.
sink.
Oh, it's not getting wasted. Hence the dump sink reference.
So now we're going to. Now this is a red wine glass, right?
All right. So we have the flute. That's your introvert. That's tight and is going to keep the bubbles, but you don't get to smell anything. And as we said, drinking is an experience. You're not going out because you're thirsty. You're not cracking open a bottle of champagne because, oh, I'm parched. No,
Right.
you're cracking open a bottle of champagne because, like, hell yeah, something good happened. Or, hey, something bad happened and I need a little pick-me-up. That's my favorite.
I love this.
So now, if we remember, I poured my own self my white wine glass before I poured either of these. And bad example because this just got freshly poured, but that coupe we saw was gone in 2 seconds.
Yeah, if they stand next to each other, and you should probably add a little bit to your glass too.
Well, before I even do that though, okay, so I've had this sitting here for, 5 minutes-ish, give or take?
Yeah, I think your time dilation's a little crazy. It's been like 2, 1.
3,
It might have been.
3,
Yeah.
4.
Wait,
I don't know.
we're working there.
Okay,
your
so
glass.
I poured mine.
Your
I
glass.
poured mine before I even thought about getting these glasses out.
Absolutely.
So whatever the timestamp is, go back and check yourselves. But we still have bubbles coming up here pretty consistently. So you have a perfect marriage of the coupe where you can smell everything and get that whole experience, but the flute where you're still getting the bubbles because you're drinking sparkling, you're not drinking still. This is why we use white wine glasses, or my personal champagne glasses come from Paul Roget when I was visiting a couple years ago. They had the perfect glasses, and they're a wider version of a flute, but shaped like the white wine glass. And they're perfect, where I've got all the bubbles and they stay as long as I want them to, or as quickly as I can drink. But I'm getting all of the experience of the aromas and diving into that champagne.
Yet you still keep the effervescence that you want from a champagne.
Yeah, I wanna emphasize. I love that. Thank you very much. First of all, let's cheers to what a great presentation.
Here you go, Kyler.
What an awesome moment. And honestly, the thing that I think about most when I'm dealing with young wine drinkers, that people that are you could be very interested and doing it for love, or you could do it because you're just trying to be a better server, bartender, busser, or whatever. And again, like if you're a busser, you should care. The best busser is the person that's like learning about all the stuff that just sets them up for success, so that when they get to that role of being the bartender, being the captain, being the lead, and there's a different role. Captain is a role, right?
You have no responsibility. It's not your responsibility to understand these. So when you do learn and understand them, then it's kind of you've took it upon yourself to know that knowledge that shouldn't be yours. So when you're able to go in and explain it to people, they don't expect a busser to tell them about Sauvignon Blanc or champagne. Right. So it's a bonus.
Yeah.
And so that's what gives you the edge over someone else who doesn't care.
And that's what shows you who cares, who's coming up in this industry. Oh, they know everything about being a barback, and now they're really interested in impressing me on being a bartender or being on a service professional, a hospitality professional. I keep bumping my mic, sorry. But to be that person, there is a part of you that should say, I want to take this to the next step. If you're not that person and you're content with your role in life, that's totally great. I don't fault you for not wanting more. But at the end of the day, movement is life. Changing, adaptation, changing who you are, always looking at how can I be better at who I am. It doesn't matter if it's even related to beverage. It doesn't have to be related to beverage, but it's a lifestyle. It's no matter what I do, I pour my heart into it and I go, this is who the fuck I am. This is who I want to show you who I am. And also, who cares who I am? I'm a professional, and this is the effort that it takes to be a professional. So any itch it needs to scratch, you should be scratching that itch with knowledge and information and following through on what you think makes an experience for the guest, to remove yourself and say, how does this person have the best night of their life? And to make it the best night of their life, I don't think of myself at all. I think, what could they possibly want, and let me do that for them.
Yeah, that's the stuff that you can't teach. And that's also how I ended up where I am. I was the one that was working a little bit extra hard. And I had a rep when I was a manager in Soho reach out to me and say, hey, are you interested in moving to this side? Because I think you would be really good at it. And I said, yes, absolutely. This is what I've been working my entire career for. Thank you for calling. And that's what got me here. And that's what I look for as I'm starting to try and nurture people. And I know I'm intentionally trying to move up the ladder, and my company is super supportive of that and has been nothing short of phenomenal. But I know when I leave, I want to leave with a couple of names behind me and say, these are the people that I want to replace me. These are the people that I think would do a great job. These are the people that I believe can carry on the legacy that I hope I am building. We're always looking for this.
If I can finish to piggyback on what you just said, because it's very relevant.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't tell me who should replace you, you don't deserve to move on. And I can't tell you how many people that don't care about what happens to a venue after they're done with it. And that's no way to care about a place that you put your heart, blood, and soul into. And if you do that, I don't believe you put your heart, blood, and soul into it. Episode 1 is Christian Sapero of Pouring Stories. And when I left 8, I was like, that guy is, honestly, he should have been the lead before me. And then moving on to other avenues of places that I was lucky to be the lead. And I looked at other people around me and I was like, damn, these people could also be the lead. And that was where I was the happiest to work, because I looked at we were all in it for the experience of the guest. And I think that you get that. And I think that your cultural heritage with having family born in the hometown of Chartreuse, makes you almost have an obligation to be almost a monk about it.
Yeah, I have to be respectful of the brand. If I'm not, who is going to be?
If you're not, who's going to be?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.